This is a brief presentation for those who are new to our agencies and new to our Safecom system. I'll cover the basics of our Safecom program. I'll talk about who can submit a Safecom, how to submit a Safecom. I'll cover how to submit a really good or effective Safecom. I'll cover the Safecom mobile app so that it can be used on any phone or tablet. And I'll also cover how the information is managed after you submit the Safecom. Our Safecom system is short for Safety Communique, and it's designed for individuals to report any condition or observation, act, maintenance problem, or circumstance with personnel or the aircraft that has a potential to cause aviation-related mishap. We need to have our employees to be aware of hazards and to report these hazards before they cause an accident that may result in the loss of life or damage to property. Safecom reporting is a critical component of our safety program. Early identification, correction, and reporting of hazards can save time, money, and most importantly, lives. There's a direct correlation between the reporting of incidents, occurrences, and hazards, which might impact all of our mishap rates. Here are some important facts about our Safecom system. To find it, you go to the Safecom website. It's located at www.safecom.gov. You can also use the OES 34 or the Forest Service 1500-14 form to submit a Safecom. This is really sort of outmoded now since you probably have to go to the Safecom site to get the form anyway. The Safecom's sole purpose is for mishap prevention. It's not intended to fix blame, and it's not intended to be used as a negative or disciplinary action against the employer or the vendor. Use of the Safecom system for contract evaluation is prohibited. The Safecom system and its database fulfills departmental requirements for both the Forest Service and for DOI. Ownership and voluntary reporting are key indicators of an organization's safety culture. Aviation hazard reporting is essential for a vibrant safety culture. Having and developing an awareness of things that may be hazardous, taking ownership of those hazards, and communicating them to the organization is how world-class organizations work to reduce accidents. Here's a list of our using agencies. Besides the main users of DOI and the Forest Service, other agencies such as states and other agencies are using it. It's important to know that Safecom submission is not a substitute for correcting the safety concern or hazard. Communicating the hazard to all is the next step after it has been removed or addressed. Take care to correct an issue, then communicate it for all to see. Here are our Safecom reporting rates. The green is the Forest Service and the brown is the DOI. And you can see that this is a rate that is based on aircraft flight hours. So the reporting rates are rather high and they're improving. The Safecom system touches a lot of our aviation safety management systems. As I said before, the system helps us to comply with policy requirements. It's also a proven system to help us identify hazards and identify trends. It also allows us to communicate and share success stories and lessons learned. The system is open to the public, and anyone from employees to vendors to other aviation users can submit a Safecom. And we want to get everybody's input. The easiest and of course the preferred method is to use the Safecom website and submit it online. Right now we also have a separate mobile app that's available from the Safecom website. Here's how the Safecom process works. You observe an unsafe or perhaps even a commendable situation. You do the on-the-spot corrective action and communication. The observer, whether it's bureau, vendor, files the Safecom, goes to the website and fills out the safety communication form. The form is routed, so Bureau Aviation managers review the information and they remove any personally identifiable information or any Privacy Act information. Bureau managers follow up and put the required actions or documents the corrective actions, and then the owners of those reports, the Bureau National Aviation managers or those designated to do so, can release that information as public for all to see. As a reminder, go to the safecom.gov site to submit a Safecom. You don't need an account to submit a Safecom. Just click the Submit button and you will be taken to the form. Just follow the fields on the form and put as much information as you can. Operational control identifies the unit that had the operational control. Selecting this will help route the information to the right bureau in the right region or area. If you put your email address in the submission, it will notify you when the Safecom has been made public, which is the goal of every submission, obviously. But you don't have to put your email address in there if you want it to remain anonymous. Here are some tips to enter a good or efficient Safecom. Enter as much information as possible. Pay attention to the required fields. You can't really submit without completing the required fields. A lot of the fields are not required, but adding comments to the narrative or the corrective action is the key for someone who might read it and benefit from your experience. Operational control identifies the agency, region, or state, or the unit that had operational control of the mission at the time of the event. These selections determine which organizations will receive the initial notification that a Safecom has been entered into the database. You can also add images and PDF attachment to further illustrate or document the Safecom. Include the email address if you want to be notified when that Safecom is made public. The Safecom mobile web app allows you to easily submit a Safecom using your phone or mobile device. It has a responsive screen that adjusts to the size of your phone or tablet. Once you've gone to the Safecom mobile app, it will stay on your mobile device and be available to use offline. The mobile app allows you to save more than one Safecom submission and then to use photos from your phone or tablet. You can enter as Safecom submission when you're offline, and then when you return to internet connectivity, you can continue to revise and then submit the form. Once you visit the Safecom mobile app, will be available on your mobile device. If you clear the history, you'll have to revisit the Safecom site and add it back to your device. Add it to your favorites for easy reference. So what happens after you select the submit button and you send your Safecom? The system sends an email notifying those in the agency designated as operational control. These individuals that are managers and are designated to review that Safecom data. The responsible managers need to check the information for accuracy. They should follow up on any issues raised and ensure the corrective actions are appropriate. It's critical to manage Safecoms in a timely manner as the key information gets lost over time and resources involved are harder to locate later. Managers should include their title and date in the corrective actions and in the note areas. Managers also have the responsibility to select categories that best identify the events in the Safecom. These categories aid in searching the Safecoms later on the site. Safecoms may contain personally identifiable information, or PII, that's subject to the Privacy Act of 1974 and must be protected. As a reminder, the use of Safecom is limited to accident prevention purposes only within the Forest Service and the Department of Interior. It's important that submissions that are not made public or contain sensitive PII don't get released. Administrative managers and modified managers are responsible for removing any names, tail numbers, and company names on Safecoms before making them public. Once a Safecom is public, it may be distributed, but only the public version, not from the management side with PII. Don't copy or paste, print, or use screen grabs to share information from the original submission from the management side. Remember to sanitize personal information depending on the nature of the area as well, such as fire names and base names can be removed. However, that is optional and at the manager's discretion and the agencies to remove that data. The Safecom system uses an extensive list of events and subdivided into categories to capture the information on hazards and other situations relevant to agency and departmental accident prevention program. Adding these categories aids in searching and analyzing data. Managers should select the appropriate categories so that when users in the public want to define events or search on these, the categories make it much more efficient. Questions and support for Safecom can be found on the Safecom website. The contacts list and the Bureau representatives is available on that site as well. Or you can call OAS or the Forest Service at the numbers on the screen. Those are also available on the website.